ओके, अब एक नया शुरू करते हैं अल्टरनेटिंग करंट लेसन 11 ऑन द थ्योरी पार्ट्स। इन अल्टरनेटिंग करंट लेसन 10 उसको थोड़ा रिवाइज कर लो। उस पर मैंने समझाया था if there was a alternating EMF changing with time connected across a resistance, if this was your alternating EMF, the current was also alternating. I was I naught sin omega t. How do I say alternating? Because there is a sine function here. And in mathematics, if you plot the value of sine for different angles starting from 0 to 180 degree, it will be like this. It will be like this. Means here to this side is the value of sine, to this side is the angle theta. When theta is 0, sine 0 is 0. When theta is pi by 2, sine pi by 2, 90, that is maximum, that is 1. Then when it is pi, this point is pi, then the value of sine pi is also 0. Then here I have divided from here to here is 2 pi. I have divided into 4 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each part is pi by 2. From here to here pi by 2, from here to here pi by 2. So from here to here is 2 into pi by 2, that is equal to pi. So from here to here will be 3 pi by 2. From here to here will be 4 pi by 2, that is equal to 2 pi. And this is the graph of a sine function. To this side is the value of sine, to this side is the value of sine. Now sine 0, 0, sine 91, sine 180, 0, again 0, again maximum here, again 0 here. Now what I had explained to you, if a alternating EMF is applied across a resistance of resistance R, then the current was also alternating. And if you look at this function and this function, they are identical. Means when E reaches the maximum value, I reaches the maximum value. That is, when omega t is equal to pi by 2, and sine pi by 2, sine 90, that is 1 into E naught is E naught. Sine, this is pi by 2, 90, sine 90 is 1 into is I naught, so I is equal to I naught. Similarly, when omega t is 0, sine 0 is 0, so 0 into E naught is 0, so E is 0. Similarly, when omega t is 0, sine 0 is 0, 0 into I naught is 0, so I is equal to 0. Means when the EMF is maximum, current is maximum. When the EMF is minimum, the current is minimum. And they were identical. This was your vector representing E naught. This is the vector representing I naught. On y-axis was EMF and I was taken. When a perpendicular was drawn from here, that is the projection of this vector along y-axis, this part was giving the instantaneous value of I, that is I is equal to I naught. It was giving the instantaneous value, I is equal to I naught sine omega t. When the projection of this vector on y-axis gives the value from here to here, that is the value of instantaneous value of E, that was E was equal to your E naught sine omega t. This we did for a circuit containing alternating EMF and a resistance R. Now in lesson 11, we'll be dealing with a circuit containing an inductor of inductance L, an inductance of and an alternating EMF. Right. Let L is equal to inductance of a pure inductor. Why the word pure is used? An inductor is made of a material. So the inductor will have this part also, the resistance part of also. But when I say pure inductor, any conductor has a resistance. And inductor is also a conductor, but in the form of a coil. Since it is made of a material, this will also have this R, and the ohmic resistance. But the moment I say it is a pure inductor, then we have to assume this part is not there. It will have some other resistance that we will derive in the course of time. Let us see what is that. Let L is equal to inductance of a pure inductor, E is equal to E naught sin omega t, the alternating EMF applied across it. Like here, inductance. This is the alternating EMF applied across it. I will explain this diagram. Let us begin with mathematically. So, and we know from electromagnetic induction, for an inductor in electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced, symbol is E, which opposes the growth of current and decay of current. Means if the current is growing, it tries to decrease it. If the current is decreasing, it tries to stop it from decreasing. Means it creates an electrical inertia. That was called your self-inductance. That was the meaning of that. By creating an opposing EMF, and this part we had derived minus L di by dt in electromagnetic induction for an inductor. This what we had derived before. And the negative sign, as I had explained to you in previous lessons, it was opposing. The negative sign here means it is opposing the change of current. The change can be an increase, the change can be a decrease also. If the current is increasing, it was opposing the increase. If the current was decreasing in the circuit, then also it was opposing that also. So that was what we had discussed in electromagnetic induction. Now to maintain the flow, now look, this is the inductor. Now the inductor is like this, pure inductor connected across an alternating EMF which we applied. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. To maintain the current, that is what I am explaining here. To maintain the current, to maintain the flow of current, your applied voltage, that is this voltage, E is equal to E naught sin omega t, E must be opposite to the induced voltage, that is must be opposite to this voltage to maintain the current, right? So let us equate them. So your E, your applied EMF is equal to negative of this. So E is equal to negative of this. Minus becomes plus. So your E becomes L di by dt. Now it is simple. So for E, which we took it as alternating E naught sin omega t. So for E, I put, let me put it here, I'll be convenient. So for E, I put E naught sin omega t. I put E naught sin omega t, L di by dt. Now keep di on one side, take L and dt to the other side. L was in the numerator, comes to the denominator. Dt was the denominator here, comes to this side, it will be on the numerator, right? So this is the small current flowing in small time, dt. E naught is constant, L is constant. So only the variable is here. So let us integrate. If you integrate di, you will have the total current. So the total current I is equal to integration of di. Now for di, I put this thing, E naught over L sin omega t dt, E naught over L sin omega t dt. So since E naught and L are constant, they are taken out, we are left with integration of sin omega t dt. Now is interesting. So I is equal to E naught over L. This we had derived in previous lessons, integration of sin omega t minus cos omega t over omega. Since omega is a constant, that is also taken out. So minus E naught over omega L cos omega t is your current. Our alternating EMF was in sine term, right? So if we can express this current in terms of sine here, then we can compare and find out what is the phase difference, if there is a phase angle between them or not. So this becomes my naught E naught over omega L sine 90 minus theta, that is same thing as cos theta. Now here is tricky, right? So I is equal to, I make it positive, E naught over omega L, so this becomes sine omega t minus pi by 2. Now this is your expression for current in terms of sine. Now, now look here, now is interesting. Now this is the expression of current in terms of sine function. Now if this part becomes maximum, then maximum into this thing will be maximum. So the current will be called maximum. And the maximum value of sine theta, sine is 1. So if sine omega t minus pi by 2 is 1, that is maximum, then this current will be maximum. And for maximum current, I am using the symbol I naught. I am using the symbol I naught. So when this becomes 1 into E naught over omega L is your maximum. So E naught over omega L is your maximum current I naught. So for this, now substitute I naught in this equation 3. Here put I naught. So I becomes I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. So now your I becomes I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now look at this 4 and look at this equation 1. This is what we applied to the inductor, this alternating EMF, and we found out the current is also alternating, that is the sine function, means changing with time. But what is the difference? So comparing 1 and 4, we find I lags behind the EMF E by a phase angle 90 degree. Pi by 2 is same thing as 90, that is pi by 2. How do I say so? Look here. You look here. This is just simply E naught sin omega t. And your I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus this much, means it is lagging behind by pi by 2, means voltage is ahead of the current by pi by 2, or the current is lagging behind the EMF by pi by 2, one and the same thing. Now one more important observation from this derivation. We know current is voltage over resistance. Now if there is a fraction and the numerator is voltage and this side is current, on this side, on the numerator is voltage, so what will be on the denominator? That will be called the resistance. That will be the, try to understand this. Current is voltage over resistance. So suppose this side is current and here on the numerator there is voltage, so whatever things will be in the denominator, that will be called the resistance. Now look at 3. Now look at equation 3. Now if you look at equation 3, this side is current equal to sine. So this is the numerator. Sine of this is voltage. This sine of an angle is just a number. Number into voltage is voltage. Divided by resistance will be current. Therefore, omega L is the resistance offered by the inductor. Therefore, try to understand this part. E naught sin omega t minus pi by 2 is in the numerator and it is a voltage, because sine of an angle, this whole thing is a number. Number into voltage is voltage. So what must be in the denominator to make this current? Because left side is current. Therefore, the denominator should be resistance. Therefore, omega L is the resistance. So the conclusion is, from equation 3, omega L is the effective resistance offered by an inductor, and this resistance is called inductive reactance. And the symbol for that XL, that is omega L, and omega we know 2 pi nu L. So when there is a resistance, it offers a resistance, the value is R. if there is an inductor connected to AC, inductor, this also offers electrical resistance. That resistance is symbolically written as XL, that is equal to omega L, that is equal to 2 pi nu L. So an inductor also offers a resistance, but when connected to alternating voltage, if this is a DC voltage, the same inductor is there, but this is not alternating, this is DC. And DC has no frequency. For a DC, nu is equal to 0. So if you put 0 here, 0 into this thing is 0. So XL is equal to 0. So an inductor offers a resistance and its value is equal to omega L if it is connected across AC, not across DC. Not across DC, right? So now I am going further. So the conclusion, the resistance R, what is the conclusion? The resistance R limits the current in a purely resistive circuit. Like a resistance offers like a resistance offers limits the current, like a simple resistance in DC circuits limits the current. Similarly, an inductor in AC circuit also limits the current. So the resistance R limits current in a purely resistive circuit here. Similarly here in an inductive circuit means circuit containing only resistance. Resistive circuit means circuit containing only resistance. This is the case for this one. The resistance R, it limits the current in the circuit. Similarly, an inductor connected to an AC also limits the current in this circuit due to its resistance, which is just derived as omega L. The symbol for that was XL. Similarly, XL, which is equal to omega L 2 pi nu L, limits the current in a purely inductive circuit. Purely inductive circuit means a circuit containing only inductance only. Now, why it is not effective in DC circuits? We just derived the resistance offered by an inductor. Symbol is XL is omega L. Omega is equal to 2 pi nu L. And for DC, I just explained nu is 0. So if this becomes 0, this whole thing becomes 0. That is, this is 0, that is XL 0. Means it does not offer any resistance if it is connected across a DC circuit, because DC circuit has no frequency. So XL is equal to omega L 2 pi nu L limits the current in a purely inductive circuit. So for DC, nu is equal to 0. For DC, this side is time, this side is voltage, this is DC. This is not a waveform, so the frequency is equal to 0. So for nu is 0, therefore XL 2 pi nu L is equal to 0. A purely inductive offers 0 resistance to DC and DC circuits. Now what are the units of XL? Units of XL, which I derived, XL is equal to omega L 2 pi nu L. 2 is constant, pi is constant, they don't have any dimension. This is just a number, so frequency is 1 by second. L, the unit of L was Henry. In previous lessons, I had explained Henry as volt over ampere per second, that comes out to be ohm. Like the unit of R is ohm, the unit of omega L, that is the resistance offered by a coil or inductor, is also ohm, right? Now then the last part, how the current lags behind. Let me enlarge the video. How the current lags behind. Very simple. Here is the inductor. This was equal to your E naught. E was equal to E naught sin omega t. Now, if you look here, to this side is your omega t, to this side on the y-axis is your voltage or current. Now I had taken E is equal to E naught sin omega t, and I found out I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. That is, the current is lagging behind the EMF. If you look at this function and this function, this is less than this by negative means pi by 2. I should not say less, is lagging behind because this is an angle. I should not say less. So here if you look at here, this red line stands for the EMF, this dotted line stands for the current. Now when look from here to here is pi by 2, when this reaches maximum, your current becomes 0. When this becomes 0, the current becomes maximum. When the EMF becomes maximum on the other side, the current becomes 0. When the EMF becomes 0 here, the current becomes here maximum, right? So that is what it is explained here. I am telling you once again. And from here to here, I had explained you is 2 pi. So from here to here, half of that is pi, and half of this, that is this point, is pi by 2, and this point is 3 pi by 2. So from here to here is pi by 2. Now look here, when this dark line which is representing the EMF E is 0, this is here. When this is maximum, the current is 0, means there is a difference of pi by 2, and this is ahead of the dotted line. This line starts from here, this dotted line starts from here to here is pi by 2. And here in the phase diagram, the length of the arrow from here to here indicates E naught. Now if you drop a perpendicular on y-axis, it cuts here. So this value from here to here is your instantaneous value E, that is E naught sin omega t. And since this and this, they are not in phase, the current is lagging behind the EMF by pi by 2. Therefore, from here to here, this angle, let me draw it here. This is your EMF E naught, this is your I naught. This angle is pi by 2. It is lagging behind, and this angle is omega t. If you draw a perpendicular from here, this value will give you the instantaneous value E, and if you drop a perpendicular from here, this value will give you the instantaneous value I, right? So this is the phase diagram for voltage and current in a circuit containing a pure inductor, where the voltage is ahead, the current is lagging behind, or you can say the current is lagging behind the EMF by pi by 2.